Excuse me, Senior. Do you know what time it is?
Okay. It is about 12:50 in the afternoon.
How did you know the time just by grabbing the donkey's huevos?
Well, you see, if I lift the donkey's balls up, then I can see the clock on the wall over there.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. It was exactly 1 week ago today that Donald Trump went and black-bagged a communist dictator in the dark of night, threw him in the back of a helicopter, and scooted right out of Caracas while lobbing a heater into the mausoleum of the communist dictator Hugo Chavez, destroying his remains, cremating him about 10 years after his death. And so why not continue a good thing? This is exactly what President Trump is doing right now with Mexico. He is saying that Mexico is next. Get a load of this. Trump announces that he will begin to strike land in Mexico in order to get rid of the cartels. He chillingly declares that his own morality is the only limit to unchecked global power. You do understand, like, this is how you win, right, against evil people. Like, you have to have a show of strength, and that this is the victory that you wish to achieve. Like, this is what power, this is what the will to, this is what exercising power looks like. Donald Trump says the U.S. will begin land strikes on Mexico, warned that the only limit is his own morality. The president announced military action against narco-terrorists. He did this with Sean Hannity, Fox News, at the White House. The president earlier boasted of his massive foreign policy powers and asked what the limits would be. He says, my own morality, my own mind. This is the only thing that can stop me. This is what makes you the most powerful man in the world. It is like, what game do you think we're playing here? Right? The Trump has suggested that Greenland, Cuba, Colombia could be next on the list of U.S. operations. The president even interrupted his interview to take a phone call from the Colombian president, who promised that he would take up arms if Trump came after him. Okay. Yeah, this has been a incredible run for Donald Trump. Here's Nicolas Maduro, humiliated, carted off to prison, and frog marched through New York. He accused Central American drug traffickers of killing millions of people every single year, blaming it on the cartel's influence. Mexico is a cartel state. Mexico is not an actual functional country. Mexico and its leaders are members of the cartel regime. Claudia Sheinbaum, who is the president of Mexico, she's already faced massive unrest and an enormous amount of people calling for her removal. She faced huge mass rallies and protests that stormed Mexico's capital city and government buildings. And here President Trump is effectively pivoting off that and saying, no, we're going to start striking Mexico. You're not allowed to run terrorist operations into America from Mexico. We're going to defend ourselves. Here we go.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country. But the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You know, you lose a child or a parent. I mean, parents are dying, too, with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that when anybody could just walk into your country.
The border's ostensibly really closed now.
Closed. You can't come in, and nobody comes. Nobody even tries.
Like, look at it. Look at this from a perspective of national security, please. Okay. Mexico is a terrorist state. There are cartels that operate with impunity that own huge swaths of Mexico. Everybody knows this. This is something that has been reported on and that is certifiably true, that Mexico is effectively just a narco state. And so those narco states then engage in terrorism against America. We have a right to defend ourselves. You know, we have a right to defend ourselves anywhere around the world. But effectively on our own border, it is more important than ever. So this is Trump just like reasserting himself on our border inside of our hemisphere. Trump said this directly after the Maduro raid. He says this is going to be a message to Claudia Sheinbaum. She's not running Mexico. The cartels are running Mexico. We're going to do something about it. President Trump has promised to do this. And obviously, the Mexican border is the longest narco state border with America. There are some problems with Canada as well. Some of that's been shut down. But the Trump administration planning new mission in Mexico against the cartels. They will be bombing the cartels, current and former U.S. officials say. The operation would include U.S. troops on the ground in Mexico, striking drug labs and cartel leaders, according to current and former U.S. officials. The deployment is imminent. Whew. Get ready. Get ready, boys. This is how it works. He says the cartels running Mexico, the deep state racketeering networks are going to be obliterated. South Central American cartels are going to be wiped out. What do the markets say here? Strike on Mexico by January 31st, March 31st, December 31st of this year. Pretty high market rates here. The next country that the U.S. will strike, you have Somalia. Right? Okay. I'm in favor of that. Okay. I'm in favor of the Somalia is at 59%. That's fine. Mexico's at 3%. I think that's free money right there. Trump casually told Sean Hannity last night he's going to start bombing Mexico soon. This is totally insane. It's not. Claudia Sheinbaum obviously is a globalist who is just sitting there clinging to the United Nations Charter. But you know what? We have something that trumps the United Nations in this country. It's called the U.S. Constitution, which gives the president the authority, the right, and the obligation to defend our nation against terrorists, to defend our borders against terrorists. And that's exactly what President Trump did. Here's another clip from that interview. The same vibe, the same energy. Donald Trump saying, yo, listen, we're going to do what needs to be done in this hemisphere to get rid of the communists and to protect America.
Make these decisions. I don't care if it's this case, Operation Midnight Hammer. In the one case, you're here in the White House in the Situation Room. You're watching this unfold in real time. In this case, you have operationally the same thing, a Situation Room down in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago. You make that ultimate call. You are the commander-in-chief. Right. You're watching it unfold in real time. What is that like?
Well, I've done it now quite a bit. We took out Soleimani, which was a big deal. I mean, a very big deal. Middle East. It was very bad to people. It killed a lot of people. Everybody you see, just about 95% of the people you see walking around without legs or without arms, that was the roadside bomb. That was his baby. He loved it. We took him out. We took out al-Baghdadi. He's the founder of ISIS. We did Midnight Hammer, which was obliterate the Iran nuclear threat. And it was a total obliteration, as they found out. The B-2 bombers and the best pilots anywhere in the world. They did that at night with no moon, totally dark, and every bomb went right down an air shaft deep into a granite mountain. It was amazing. And we did this, and there's similar in a way. I don't know. This seems to have gotten the imagination, maybe even more than the other ones. But I think they're very equal in many ways. But I don't know. You know, maybe taking out the nuclear threat from Iran is very important. But in terms of captivating attention, this seems to be something that is beyond anything that anybody's seen.
Especially the operational details.
Well, the bravery involved. You know, I mean, to have people going into an army fort with, you know, thousands of soldiers, land a helicopter right in the middle of it, break down a steel door, because, you know, it was a fortified house, break down a steel door, run through the hallway shooting, and come out 10 minutes later with the guy who wasn't quite able to get into his safe house.